During its political rally held at Msonda ground recently, the Democratic Progressive Party welcomed a number of individuals from other political parties, mainly the Malawi Congress Party and the People's Party. The development, according to the Democratic Progressive Party officials, is a sign of how strong the party is getting, while political commentators are questioning the decision by these individuals to join the party.
What has DPP done which is so unique that it should compare a large number of MPs to join it? So there is nothing actually. In fact, it should be the opposite, that the people should feel scared that the DPP is pursuing policies that are not helping Malawians.
One of the individuals who have joined the party is former spokesperson of the People's Party, Kenneth Msonda. In today's edition of Kabiro Straight Talk, my guest is Msonda. It's an honor to have you in this edition of Kabiro Straight Talk today. Most welcome.
Pleasure is mine, Rose. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks. And how are you?
The Lord is good.
When have you arrived from Lilongwe, where you announced your joining of the Democratic Progressive Party? Because we saw you at Msonda ground being welcomed into the party.
2 days after that function, I had to drive back. You know, I've got some kids in Lilongwe. I've got some relatives in Lilongwe. So soon after the function, I remained back in Lilongwe. And then 2 days later, I drove back to Blantyre.
Interestingly, you told me that you drove because we saw on social media, on Facebook, people are showing you a picture of you boarding a local bus in Lilongwe.
Yeah, I've heard about it, Rose. That's laughable. What is disheartening me is that as a nation, we seem to be creating a generation of liars. We seem to be creating a generation of whereby one can create a lie, and then people like you, Rose, who have gone to school, and you start actually believing those lies. This is very unfortunate. There are people in Malawi who actually survive on lies. They survive on denting other people's reputations for financial gains.
Did you see the picture that I'm talking about?
I saw it. Actually, that picture...
Isn't that you?
No, that was me. That was me on that picture. Just maybe to clarify on that picture. That picture was taken in May 2014. It was the time I was coming from Rumpi East Coast after I'd campaigned for Honorable Kamlepo Kalula. I had to leave my car and rush here because I had to go to Comensatari Center for the results. Yeah. So the one who actually took that picture was one of the passengers in the bus. It's an old picture. I actually saw that picture soon after we left Mzuzu. Is that an issue?
So did you have any problems with that picture when you saw it in the first place?
No, I didn't have any problems. Because, Rose, boarding a public transport, you mean all these Malawians who go by public transport, they are useless. With the economic challenges that we are going through now, leaving your car and go by public transport in terms of saving, is that a sin?
You told me that you were coming from Rumpi where you campaigned for Kamlepo Kalula.
Yes, that picture was taken at Mzuzu bus depot. So I don't regret. After all, majority of Malawians don't have cars. I'm privileged, and I thank God that I have a car. You're privileged, Lord, that you have a car. Now, to go by public transport, is that a sin?
You told the nation when you left People's Party, you told us that you'll be consulting a number of people, but most importantly, you told us that you'll be consulting God on your next move as a politician. And has God told you to join the DPP?
You are right, Rose. I said, and I made it very clear, that I've taken what I dubbed as a political sabbatical leave so that I reflect on my spiritual life, I have time with my family, and I consult those who are actually close to me, my spiritual fathers, my political mentors, my family, close friends, and people who matter in my life on my next move on my political journey. And I made it very clear that, come 2019, God willing, I'll contest in Rumpi East Constituency. So, yes, I've taken that move after a lot of consultation. That is why I've taken a bit of time. I didn't specify the time. I said I'm a very prayerful person. I'm a born-again Christian politician. To me, politics is a calling from God to serve my nation. And I've taken that decision after a lot of prayer, Rose, I can assure you. That is why, in the history of this country, I'm the only person possibly who have actually said I'll come back after resting. It has taken me 2.5 months or so. Yes, I've consulted a lot. And God, I can say without any fear of contradiction that my move has the blessing from above.
When exactly did you join the DPP, Honorable Msonda?
I joined the DPP about 4 or 5 days ago. After a lot of consultation. As I said earlier on, I think I came here, Rose, you gave me an interview. But soon after I announced my resignation from the People's Party, there were a lot of people who actually were interested to see me. And I've met a lot of people, and I'm humbled, respected people. I met almost all political party leaders. Some of them voting me for...
Can you tell me some of these people that you have met?
You see, I'm not in the business of trying to personalize issues. Some of them are very important people.
No, you've told me here that you have met These people?
Yes, I've met them.
Who are these people?
No, I have to respect them. Some of them are very respectful people. Some of them people who matter in society.
And why were they interested in meeting you after you had announced your departure from the People's Party?
That's $1 million question. I also actually was asking myself that. I didn't know, Rose, that people look at me as somebody who is contributing to the well-being of Malawians. Maybe I took things for granted, and my leaving People's Party gave me an opportunity to see or to know how people see me in the political arena. I've met a lot of people, Rose, and some of them, as I said earlier on, I'm sorry that you cut me off, were faulting me for leaving PP, and some of them were so I did better, it was long overdue, and some of them said, after you are resting, should you wish to come back into active politics, let's talk so that maybe we can work together. So, yeah, that gave me an opportunity. There
are a lot of allegations. We heard that you flew to America, where you had to meet President Mutharika there. We hear you met Vice President for the North in the party, Gudo Gondwe. We hear you had pocketed money, 12 million kwacha. Have you been bought from the People's Party by the DPP?
As I said earlier on, Rose, but it's unfortunate that in Malawi now we are creating a generation of liars and people who can believe in lies. People like you who've been to school and then you believe in lies. I never went to America to see the president. Why go to America to see the president? He's our head of state. We can't meet here.
But have you met the president?
Why should I fly to America to meet the president? Wait a minute. Don't call me. I'm coming there. I went to China. I'm a businessman, and I went to China on a business trip. I was also humbled. On that particular day, a lot of Malawians actually flew off. And why only picking me? I'm proud. Yes, to answer your question, have you met the president? To say the fact, Rose, as I told you, I'm a born-again Christian. I've got no time to lie. What I will I get if I lie? The first time in my life to be closer to the president and shake his hand was at the Msonda.
But did you meet Gudo Gondwe?
Well, without actually beating about the bush, the problem with you media guys, you tend to dwell too much on personalization. I've told you I met a lot of party leaders in Malawi. Now, if you start actually singling out names, I'm afraid those who forget here will feel maybe offended. I met a lot of people. Okay, yes, I met him. Is that a crime?
Did you pocket the money that we are talking about, 12 million kwacha from him?
Rose,
for you to join the DPP?
Rose, those are some of the devil's tactics. You mean this time around we're still buying people? We're still in slavery trade? Slavery, was abolished a long time ago. Where? There is no party that actually buys people. You guys, you just try to create a storm in a teaspoon. I've been in frontline politics for quite a long time. I've served UDF under Bakiri Muzi for over 10 years. I served High Excellency Dr. Joseph Banda for over 4 years. Why does it become a problem when those of us politicians we change political parties? Let me refreshing your memory, Rose. Maybe you were young and you were not there. During the 1992-93 referendum, Malawians voted for a multi-party democracy. A democracy came in, and freedoms and rights came in. You have the freedom of association. You are here at Capital Radio. You might as well change jobs and go somewhere. That's your freedom.
That much I know. Yeah, that much I know, Mr. Msonda. But talking about you, allow me to ask this. Allow me to ask you this question.
No. With due respect, Rose, give me time, because there's a lot of distortion in these things.
Distortion?
Yes,
what do you mean distortion?
You guys, you deliberately try to create a storm in a teaspoon. Why should it become a problem when we politicians change political parties? And when you change jobs,
you don't see any problem with changing political parties.
It's my constitutional right. Why not?
Do you do that out of greed?
For us, when we change, it's greed. For us, when we change, is wajeskono. For us politicians, when we change, is watenga 12 million. But for you, when you change jobs, is
can you tell me, Mr. Msonda, who is to benefit with your move from People's Party to the DPP, for example? Who is benefiting? Who is to benefit?
What do you mean? It's Malawians who can benefit, because when I was in the opposition, I was offering constructive reasoning with government. I was not vocal criticizing. I was offering constructive reasoning with the government. And now, me and government, we have sat down, just like the Bible says, let us sit together and reason together. I will also go to DPP and constructively reason with the ruling party. So, at the end of the day, Malawians will benefit.
How should Malawians take you seriously? Because you were very critical of this Mutharika administration when you were at the People's Party, talking ill about this party. Why finding yourself in this party, Mr. Msonda?
The word critical is misplaced. I was constructively reasoning, not critical. That's where maybe the problem is. Sometimes when you say the truth, people tend to look at you as if somebody who is very troublesome. I have never been critical. I've never been rude, to borrow your word, but I've always been...
But you've been rude, Mr. Msonda, before.
I have been constructively critical. I mean, reasoning. I was reasoning with the government. When you reason, it's offering alternatives. Maybe the problem is with our local translation of what the opposition is. We don't just oppose for the sake of opposing. We are all serving government. We are all serving Malawians. We are all politicians. The only difference is that, you, our colleagues in the media, you are in the backbench politics, while some of us who have joined political parties, we're in frontline politics. But we are all politicians. Politics to me, Rose, I've said it time and again, I don't know how many times through radio stations like this one, that to me politics is a calling from God. Politics is what one's...
Now that today you are in the DPP, do you regret some of the statements that you made when you were in the People's Party about the DPP?
It is very unfortunate that the president is not in touch with the people on the ground. He is surrounded by people who are telling him lies. If he were on the ground with the people, he would have known what is happening out there. People are suffering. People are dying. And here is a president who can stand on the pulpit and say, people are not dying, there is enough maize. I mean, it is sad. It only shows that the president is not in touch with the people on the ground.
Do you regret?
Why should I dwell in the past when everybody is moving forward? The past is gone. I'm looking forward. So why should I actually dwell in the past? It's like when you have actually given your life to Christ, when you're a sinner, do you still live in the old? The old has gone. I'm focusing forward. Everybody's moving forward. Why should I be moving backwards?
There are people who are saying that the party wants to use you against Kamulepo Kaluwa in the Rumpi East constituency come 2019. Is this why you have joined the DPP, Mr. Msonda?
That's a democratic line of thinking.
Democratic?
That's being too primitive, and that's being uncivilized. Why against somebody? Mind you, all Kuswesas Malawi don't belong to anybody. And there is always what I call a transfer political window. I had to take advantage of the transfer political window that we have. You saw how many people actually defected to the ruling party. Why only me? This to me is what I've termed as a political transfer window. So I've taken an opportunity of that.
Political transfer window?
Yes, yeah.
For politicians to change political parties.
To change political parties and strategize, reposition yourself for 2019.
But you're simply flocking to the Democratic Progressive Party that is in government now.
Yeah,
should we read too much into that?
No. Actually, it shows that we have actually put on scale all the political parties that we have in Malawi, and I, for one, I've seen that where I can possibly save Malawians better is in the ruling party. So to say I'm going in Rumpi East constituency to target Honorable Kamulepo Kaluwa is a misplaced line of thought. That's primitive politics, and that's being uncivilized. I am the one who actually went there during the elections to help my respected honorable MP, and I'm proud of him.
But that was after you had lost in the primary elections, isn't it?
And I actually, why can't you give credit where it is due? That somebody, after losing, you would go back and help the winner. I mean,
because I don't have evidence that you indeed helped him. So it's difficult for me to say, big up, Honorable Msonda, you did that, because I don't have any evidence that you did that.
Let be, but to say I'm going there because I'm targeting somebody, that's misplaced, because there is always time. After somebody has served for 5 years, we all apply. It's like we're applying for jobs, and it is up to people of Rumpi East whether to continue with Honorable Kamulepo Kaluwa or to pick up somebody. And I won't be the only person there, that I can assure you, that there are also some other people strategizing. So why only me? Out of the 22 people who actually defected from other political parties to DPP, why only me? And I'm proud of that. It shows that at the moment I'm a first reckon in as far as Malawi politics is concerned, and I'm proud of that.
So how does it feel to change all of a sudden from being orange to blue? You had a lot of orange attires. People saw you on social media in an orange suit, supporting the party with passion. Where are all those attires that you used to put on? Orange attires, Mr. Msonda.
God bless you for using the word supporting the party with passion. God bless you. Given an opportunity, I will always work with passion. I always work with that, actually looking for something from it. What does it feel to change? That's normal. Rose, I've said it time and again that politics has no syllabus. It moves its time. And what you're seeing now is not what's going to happen come 2019. So, yeah, I'm proud. Talking about the orange attires, I'll donate.
Where are they?
I've already donated to people who are orange. I've given them to people who are orange. I'm now blue. It's like you're moving from Man U to Chelsea. Is that an issue? It's a political transfer window, Rose. So you got to make use of it, because eventually this transfer window is going to close. So I've taken advantage of this transfer window. So, yeah, how do you feel? Well, I'm looking forward. I'll now be in blue because I wait with fashion.
You've always told me that you were very close. I don't know if you're still close to the former President Joyce Banda. Did you inform her about your decision to leave the People's Party and join the DPP?
Just for the sake of actually putting matters right, I did, and I'm not in the business of talking much to former heads of state.
What was her response?
No, I can't say, because I have to respect the office of the former state president of this country. Mind you, Joyce Banda is not just an ordinary person. She's not just the party president. She's the former head of state of this country, and she deserves some respects. I've always been closer to the people who matter in my life. His Excellency Dr. Bakili Muluze, Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Banda, and a lot of other people who I actually respect. So I cannot be sitting here talking about the former president.
Do you still maintain your statement that the DPP victimized her? But by the time you were joining People's Party, you went there to actually ensure that the woman was freed from that kind of victimization in the hands of the DPP. Do you still maintain that statement, Mr. Msonda?
The past is there just to help us, Rose, but we don't dwell in the past. So no comment. Because
comment?
As I said, I'm moving forward, Rose. Why should we actually waste time dwelling
No, but the
on
past
the past
is there for us to learn from.
Yes, so we've learned from it.
So
let's move forward.
Why are you having problems in commenting on issues of the past?
Because they affect a former head of state who deserves respect.
Is it telling me that you're regretting that you made some of those statements today?
No, I'm not regretting. I'm not regretting. I've never regretted, because whatever I actually say, the moment I open up my mouth, I've actually thought about what I'm going to say. The problem that we have sometimes in this so-called democracy that we have is that some people think democracy is saying what you think. Democracy is thinking what you should say. So whatever statements I've said, I don't regret. But why should we dwell in the past? And you are keeping on pressurizing me to comment on some of these high-profile officers. They deserve respect. With due respect, let's leave her.
And today in the program, I'm talking to Kenneth Msonda, former spokesperson of the People's Party, who has now joined the Democratic Progressive Party, DPP. It appears most Malawians are not happy with you, especially with your decision to join the DPP. Are you aware of that?
Not most Malawians. It's only in heaven where you agree. We can agree to disagree.
So you know that some Malawians are not happy with that decision.
It's
aware of that.
It's obvious. That's why we have too many political parties. If all of us were actually moving towards the same direction, we would have one party. So with a multi-party, yes, there will be some who actually not like what you do. That's normal. I repeat, it's only in heaven where you all reason together and move forward. On earth, it's not only here. Do you know, Rose? Do you know that some Americans are not happy with Trump? Do you know that some Americans are not happy with Hillary Clinton? So who is Msonda to have everybody happy with me?
How steady are you politically? You were in UDF, you joined DA, you went back to the UDF, People's Party, now in the DPP. How steady are you?
I'm so happy that you have my analysis of my political movements. That question actually baffles me. As I said earlier on in passing, maybe you didn't pick it. But why does it become a problem when we politicians actually change political parties, when it is our constitutional right, and not a problem when you, Rose Msonko, and the rest of the media out there change jobs? So you mean these freedoms and rights only apply to you? They don't apply to us as politicians. They don't apply to me as Msonda. I also have a constitutional right, freedom of association. I can join a church, leave, or form my own church. I can join a company, leave, or join another company, or form my own company. I can join a political party, leave, and join another political party, or form my own political party. That is a constitutional right. But why does it become a problem when we politicians do that, and not a problem when you media change jobs?
But some of you people are elected into positions by people out there. You don't put yourselves in positions, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we are elected, but as I said earlier on, politics have no dynamic. have no syllabus. It moves with time. You can be elected, and eventually along the way things change. So that is not a crime, Rose. Have I killed anybody?
So you're in the DPP to stay, or the way you're explaining here, you are also ready to join another party come tomorrow?
Well, I have come to DPP to stay. But for the future, it's only God who holds the future in his hands. He holds my future in his hands. If you may be asking me what are your political ambitions, I'll tell you that just like you, Rose, I have ambitions as a politician, as I serve my country, is one, to actually serve Malawians as a member of parliament, become a minister possibly, and become a president of this country possibly. These are human ambitions.
So just like you also want the presidency?
Who doesn't want the presidency? Don't you want to open your own company as a media house?
So
don't you?
Do you think you can get the presidency through the DPP, in the DPP?
Well, if God so wants, don't discard people, Rose. Some of the people who are now in cabinet, some of the people who are now serving, some of the people who have actually ruled this country before, people never thought they could be where they are, but God actually holds the future of everybody in the palms of his hand. So yes, you can discard me now, that's up to you, but you never know what God has for me. So yeah, I've got ambitions. Rose, I've said it. I think it was you who was actually pressurizing me on the same, that even a lizard have got ambitions. Ask a lizard, it will tell you that one day it wants to grow into a crocodile. So what more with a human being?
So what I'm getting from you, seriously, you want the presidency?
every politician, ask every politician if they will be very honest as I am. We all want that seat. That's why people go to campaign.
But it should be a better order for you.
Come again?
It should be a better order for you, isn't it?
No. What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, you're not even a member of parliament today. You want the presidency. It should be a long journey for you.
Trump has never been a politician before. He's not a head of state in America. Don't discard people, Rose. It's only God who holds my destination. What has happened in America is actually a lesson to all of us on this world, that there's some possibilities which you can think beyond. So yeah, you can discard me, Rose. That's the bad side of democracy. As I said earlier on, it entitles you to speak your mind instead of minding.
Let's go for a short commercial break. Mr. Msonda will be right back. I know you need to take a bottle of water. We'll be back very shortly.
Keep on discarding me. That's the bad side of democracy. Instead of you thinking what to say, you are saying what you are supposed to think. Anyway,
let's go for a short commercial break.
God bless you.
Welcome back.
Precious man, please keep on discarding me. It's okay.
The Malawians are facing a lot of challenges. What ideas do you have that you're bringing to the DPP that perhaps might help them to resolve some of these challenges that we are facing as a country?
Rose, I have one gift which is very rare in us politicians, the gift of telling the leadership the truth. I'm on the ground with people. Media have actually given me a nickname that I'm a foot soldier, and I'm proud of that name. Sometimes I leave my car, I go by public transport just to hear what people say. I'm on the ground with people, and sometimes when people complain, I have first-hand information. And one gift that I have is to tell the leadership the truth. And I'm going to DPP. Should my services be required, I'll be able to tell the truth. To say some people are not happy, that's normal. We cannot all agree. And Rose, I can challenge our listeners that even if DPP goes out of government today, any political party that comes in, the political problems that we have cannot be resolved one day. It needs all of us to join hands and move forward as a nation. That's why I've thought of critical reasoning with the ruling party. So yes, some people are not happy. That's normal. They will not be happy until trust comes. But I'm going there to help from where my friends have already done. So I'm not going there with any special capacity or capabilities. No. The only weapon that I have, and I'm proud of that, not only as a politician, Rose, also in my Christian walk, I can tell your listeners.
What's your strength?
My strength is telling the truth, but of course using the right protocol and the respect that it deserves. In our church, I was almost excommunicated because of telling my pastor the truth. And later on along the line, they discovered that what I was saying was true, and they brought me back. So this I've paid dearly in my political journey. No wonder, Rose, after all what I've done, why do some of the political leaders actually don't recognize me and maybe put me somewhere to help them? It's because our leaders, not only in politics, Rose, in religious circles, media circles, in companies, our leaders, the problem that they have, they tend to listen to lies too much.
You feel you've been underutilized in all political parties that you have joined before?
Yes, I've been underutilized because of my stance of trying to tell the leadership the truth. So, and as I said earlier on, in all circles, not only in politics, Rose, we have a generation of leaders who actually listen too much on lies. And when somebody comes in and tells you the truth, they'll take it. But thereafter, a liar comes in and actually takes off what you have said, and it depends upon the leadership to gauge the truth, to say who is saying the truth. And I've paid dearly, Rose, and I don't regret, because to me, politics is a calling.
So if you were to meet President Mutharika today, what would you have told him in as far as the affairs of this nation are concerned?
Well, being the father of the nation, I wouldn't actually be here in public and tell the public. What I'm going to tell the father of the nation is a number one citizen of this country. As I said earlier on, they deserve some respect. So should I have that opportunity of meeting him, as I said earlier on, the first time I've met him was at Msonda, where he welcomed us. Should I have an opportunity of meeting him, I'll say what the Lord will tell me to say. But to say here on radio, to say this is what I'm going to tell him, it would be preempting. There will be no point of meeting him, because I would have preempted what I'm supposed to tell him. So yeah, I have a message for the president.
So you listen to God very much?
I'm a very prayerful person, Rose. I'm a born-again Christian politician. I've said so many times, I accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior on 24th June 1982. Since then, I've never regretted. I'm a very prayerful person.
But there's some people who doubt your Christianity, let alone your being a born-again Christian.
People doubted Jesus Christ, so who am I? If the Son of God was doubted by the very same people who saw miracles, healing people today, tomorrow the very same people said in Pachike Namene.
So you don't care?
It's not a question of care. It doesn't actually move me, because my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ went through the same thing. As I said earlier on, Rose, a man is a very difficult creature. You cannot trust a human being, and that's what the Bible says. We just respect each other. but my trust is in God and Jesus Christ. So if some people doubt my Christian life, who am I? I said people doubted Jesus Christ. After hearing them, feeding them, the next day, there's some people who said in particular.
You've interacted with the media, perhaps because of the positions that you have held before in your previous political parties. The party that you have joined now is being accused of fighting the media. Even at the rally that you attended at Msonda, the party was attacking the media.
It is unethical, untraditional, and against political protocols to comment on a statement made by an elder. That statement came from our party secretary general, who is a very senior person in the party. I cannot comment. I repeat, it is unethical, untraditional.
Do you have any problems with that statement that was made by your acting secretary general, Mr. Francis Mpebo?
Yes, because as I said earlier on, procedurally, traditionally, politically, you don't comment on a statement made by an elder person. You don't comment on such statements because she is a senior party member, the whole secretary general of the party. So who am I? An ordinary party member. I don't even have a position in the party. I've just joined it.
When you spoke on behalf of those that had joined or have joined the DPP, you said that someone was just perhaps testing the waters by sending you first, and that there is someone bigger who is coming to join the party. Who is this person that is joining the DPP in the near future?
Before I answer your question, Rose, I was humbled to be actually chosen so that I could speak on their behalf. That to me, I give all the glory to God. And yes, I quoted the biblical story in Genesis 32, where Esau and Jacob actually crushed each other. And Jacob left the country, fled the country, stayed somewhere, and he had to come back to his country. But because Jacob was not very sure that his brother Esau had actually forgiven him and that, it's all water under the bridge, he couldn't just come in. He had to send his servants. And they were given strict instructions that if my brother asks you, tell him that I'm coming because I'm tired of being in isolation. I can assure you, Rose, that there are more people coming, big ones coming. That's what I meant. Because now...
From the People's Party?
Well, was it only People's Party joining DPP on that day?
No, you were coming from People's Party,
but
isn't it?
I spoke on behalf of all of those people. That was a speech representing MCP, representing UDF, representing People's Party, and other parties.
So after that speech, Mr. Msonda, you had to kneel down just to greet the president. You, being a born-again Christian, hero-worshipping a human being.
It's not hero worshipping. The Bible tells us to respect those in authority. And
the extent of kneeling down, Mr. Msonda?
Yes, I'm an African. That's tradition. An African, the moment you kneel down, you're actually showing respect.
Weren't you buying favors from the president?
No, Rose. Maybe I can send you to our Sunday school at where I fellowship and tell you what a Christian is supposed to do to leadership. The Bible is very clear. Respect those in authority.
Which leadership? The presidency?
Not only the presidency. Even here, Rose, if you don't respect the owner of this company, if you don't respect your managing director, you'll be fired. And when you are fired, don't think that, they are bad. But that was at a podium. And the whole head of state was there. I had to show respect.
So you weren't even embarrassed to kneel down before the whole crowd there at Msonda ground? You had to kneel down in your black suit.
It's only you to Rose. But the rest of the people whom I've met, they said that was respectful. That was excellent.
Was that a DPP or every Malawian?
Malawians. I'm receiving a lot of phone calls, a lot of messages, and people are sending me photos of that. It's a great honor. People should change their mindset.
Mr. Time is up. Let's stop it there for today. But once again, many thanks that you joined us in this edition of Capital Straight Talk. I wish you well in your new party, DPP.
Well, I'm also humbled, Rose. Thank God that you are there at your best as well. I just hope and pray that this company recognizes your efforts and let us work together. This is our country. Let us sit down, reason together and help the DPP. Come 2019, this party is going to continue ruling this country.
Well, that's how we conclude this edition of Capital Straight Talk. Today in the program, I was talking to Kenneth Chitadata Msonda, former spokesperson of the People's Party, who has now joined the Democratic Progressive Party.